How you doing? Scotty Bear back with another video. This video about the nomadic or expat end game. That's right. What happens when it is all over and you're ready for something different, something happens, and what that looks like. So I was married 18 years, and people ask me, how did you stay married so long? And my answer to that is to be flexible, to let go of the things that really do not matter. You spend that long with somebody and you are going to have some problems. It's very similar to the expat nomadic life because of two things. One is it indeed is going to end or change, and your ability to hold on and will be very important to how long you last. High Stakes Danny, I was talking to him the other day, brought up a pretty valuable point. As the longer the timeline goes out, or you're able to exist in whatever country you're at, or whatever situation you're into, the lines start to blur the further you go out. I can remember back when I rented an apartment in Tijuana. Really liked that apartment. I thought, wow, I'm not an old guy, but I thought to myself, wow, I'm gonna be here forever, right? And that wasn't the case. Ended up staying there for quite a while, but it ended. And for a while, I actually felt like, wow, it was a mistake maybe to let that place go. I mean, let's face it was only like $170, $80, depending on the actual exchange rate a month, 3,000 pesos. But one day, actually, I went in to pay my cable bill, and of course, I didn't speak a lot of Spanish. And I mean, I speak a lot of Spanish, but sometimes it's very hard to do these type of deals in Spanish. And I went to pay my cable bills, I do every month. And one day they were like, they wanted me to switch over to a new plan. And they were no longer going to offer me the $20 a month unlimited plan, which was really good, worked perfect for me. Had a couple channels, when I did watch TV, which I hardly ever did. But they wanted to change me, and I did not want to change. So they, in typical Mexico fashion, they just cut my service off. And then when I went to complain, it was almost hilarious because they said, "Oh, you want service?" And I was like, "You got to be kidding me." And that really is the essence of this experience. I mean, everything is going great, and either something happens and changes something, or just like the marriage and the situation there, it no longer holds the same value to you, and you decide either you're going to move on or you just die and it's all over. So it could be hard to see that from where you're at currently. I made an interesting choice, one that many of my friends kind of laughed at me, and I stored my stuff because throughout my life I've bought too many spatulas, too many pans, too many things, because I thought that I was never going to need that again, which turned out to be false. I mean, frankly, it just wasn't the case. And parting with my stuff, which I bought a spatula because I wanted the spatula, or I picked up some stuff over for my apartment when I was in El Paso that frankly I wasn't ready to get rid of. And I thought to myself, maybe at some point I would need these things again, and I think that will be true. Now, I might pay a pretty decent premium to hold on to these things. Some of them probably for the most part worthless. Some more valuable than others, but it is one of those things where it's hard to see from where you're at that you may indeed return to the life in your home country, return as a foreigner to the United States or wherever you're from, and may need these items again, and then you have to pay for them again. And with the inflation and different complications really exist. I mean, it's a huge subject to talk about, of course, and every person is going to react differently about it. I mean, frankly, and who knows what happens. I mean, is another one. I have over the 7 months I've been traveling post-pandemic here. I've had a few minor complications, and I may run into a few more. It's hard to know how that will affect me or how I'll react to them, but I do know at some point, things are going to change. This currently meets my needs, and my needs may change, and that's really what it amounts to. That being said, I think the best thing that you can do is really prepare for that scenario. Every monies you get, or many of people watch this and stuff have retirements, more fixed incomes. Of course, that's ideal, but High Stakes Danny is a really good example. He, not to reveal a whole lot about him, but he is retired. Maybe even a good retirement. He really feels like the Philippines are home, and I somewhat believe him, but also he also has a home back home. I mean, he gets sick of it, he'd climb on an airplane and it'd basically be over. He'd turn the key in the door, and it's much easier. The lines are much clearer as to his options. But we were again talking about that exact situation, and frankly, if I bought a ticket today, I simply would not know where I'm going. I mean, where would I land? Where would I stay? That's unclear. It really is. It's I have my stuff in storage, probably go there. I guess, I don't know if I would end up staying at that place or pick up and move on to somewhere else. But actually with the inflation and the things changing so fast currently, it could make things really interesting if I was faced with problems that led to me having to no longer be an expat or a nomad or whatever, whatever you call it. But it is something to think about. Kind of stole this idea from another blog that I watched, because really, and this is the mistake I made when I lived in Tijuana and I returned to the United States, because it was very difficult to do. Even though Tijuana is right there on the other side of the border, it becomes very challenging in many ways. One is, say you get a place in the U.S., what is your last landlord? Where have you been? Jobs, all of these things really make things very difficult. And car insurance, car registration, license expired, really was difficult to know and actually even predict the problems that you'll have just kind of from that. I got a little time on my passport till it expires. I'm not sure how I will deal with that. continue to just take it day by day. That's been pretty much the way I've been going about this, blogging about it as it goes on, blogging about the experiences I have, and of course trying to make my way as a vlogger and work online, because many of people that do this are looking for side incomes, right? And it's very important that even if you have a fixed income, to take and understand that working online or trying to find multiple streams of income could be helpful, especially as the world changes so much. And maybe that's why I do these videos. I do make a few bucks from them, but it's more of a hobby and more of a maybe a little bit of a addicted to making videos. I don't know. I made videos every day now for very close to 3 years. I can remember I told my assistant, I'm gonna make videos about something every day, and that really has led me, of course, to this video. One of the most interesting things about that is looking back at the past videos, none of which I mean I would feel overly proud of, other than it is very interesting because I can remember shooting that video where I was and what exactly I was experiencing at the time. And it's something that people, friends can look back at, and I think that's fun. And maybe if I died, which I know a vlogger who died and his videos still remain online. It's pretty cool. And maybe it's what'll happen. People watch my videos 25, 30 years down the road. I don't know. I do think in the United States, things are going to come to a point where it is no longer going to be really that good a value to live in the United States, and people are going to have to search for something else, live in other places, because really, I mean, they glamorize like van life and stuff like that, where it is basically homelessness, and I think that is popular because a lot of people are facing that. I do happen to have some friends, again, that do van life. They're not so much online vloggers and stuff, but similar to many things: nomadic life, van life, one backpack, all of these different situations that exist online are all being looked at closely, because people are being affected and looking at creative ways to deal with that, to draw to other countries. For me is, I just don't love the idea of paying a lot of money for rent, the rat race, car payments, insurance. It really doesn't hold much value to me. So I started looking at other things to do. Being from California and moving away, and I really found a deep dissatisfaction with my my choice of the other place to live in the United States, right? Nevada. You move from California to Nevada, you may not like it all that much. Colorado. You move from California to Colorado. Colorado's a beautiful place. Even Nevada's, okay, but you may not like it all that much. Snow is okay, but if it snows one day, it's like, oh, neat, snow. It snows for a couple weeks, and you have to walk around. My wife actually fell on some snow and busted her shit real good, and maybe didn't walk all the way right. I mean, again, I'm not sure what happened to her, but she had a rod in her leg from it, and she was just going to the store. So some of these places don't seem like that great a place, but you know, you live in Kansas or whatever, it's, you know, you may not want to look out and see nothing all the time, and pay a good price to be there. I mean, again, I felt like a little like that about El Paso. El Paso was nice because, of course, I mean, it was a nice place to live. It's inexpensive. The community around there was pretty nice. Was able to get some dental care, just hop over the border, some medical care, cheap. Of course, if the worst happens and, you know, I drop dead of a heart attack or close to it, they'd scoop me up, take me to the hospital, so some of that was okay. But only okay for a while, because there's only so much El Paso you can take. I love the ocean, love the cool air. So I decided to take off for Ensenada. I mean, it's what it amounts to. Now, over here, there's less cool air. Very tropical climate, humid. Still nice, but it's definitely different. I don't know really what the future holds, or what, you know, I'll be thinking about as this goes on. That's kind of why I vlog about it too. I mean, some of the videos, like I said, I go back and watch again or stumble across, because, you know, they get little visitors or whatever, and I'll go back and listen to the video. And it's interesting. It's interesting. Well, I don't know what day it is. I do believe it's Tuesday here, about 5 in the afternoon. That would make it 5 in the morning in New York. Y'all are waking up. I think it's the 17th or 18th of May. Catch you on the next video.